And we're going live on Facebook. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the V.A.C. Roundtable number 37. This is the Bud for Blood campaign with our special guest and the creator of this campaign, Kristen Yoder. And we are very honored to have her tonight. And we believe in what she's doing and her creation. And therefore, we as a group wanted to not only to support the Bud for Blood campaign, but to have a discussion around it so people could get an understanding about what we're trying to do and why it was created and what it was, what we're trying to accomplish here. Because there is a lot to it when it comes to blood donations, as we know. It was a lot easier in the 70s. It got complicated in the 80s due to the AIDS epidemic, and since then, uh, where there used to never be shortages, there is a consistent shortage of blood, and especially now due to COVID, there is a severe usage of blood, and therefore we have a shortage of blood that is happening. And so, due to this, we are decided to join with the Bud for Blood campaign and to not only encourage people to go to and donate blood, we wanted to make veterans aware that as regular hospitals have shortages, so does the VHA, the Veteran Health Administration, and the veterans can go donate at their local Veteran Health Administration hospital as well as clinic where available. So please definitely do that. I would like to thank our council members for joining us tonight, and I will change the views directly to speaker. So, our first question, thank you very much, Kristen Yoder, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for
How
having
did
me.
you come up with the Bud for Blood campaign?
I have an apparel brand, Cynical Stoner represents, and I actually bought the domain Cynical Stoner in 2009, and it was a news aggregator because I was managing a dispensary at the time, and I felt people were not educated on things they should know about. So I created that website, and then it went defunct over time. And then I started putting witty sayings on T-shirts and was like, oh, why don't I just use Cynical Stoner again? So like I've been an advisor for people and on my own for like 4 or 5 years, but I never really felt like a business person because I was selling my intelligence instead of like a tangible product. And once I started Cynical Stoner, I felt like I have a company and I want to do good things with my company for the community. Um, and it was like, I'm addicted to Reddit, first of all. And I was reading all of the like anti work or just Starbucks or Amazon subreddits. And people are so fucking burnt out on life, on everything. And I felt so bad, especially for people we used to call essential workers that are now just like people that get treated like shit. Like they never wanted to ask you to put a mask on. Like no one wanted to go through any of this. So I created these little random notes of kindness that I would give to bummed out baristas or my pharmacist or whoever to tell them that like you are still essential, you are still valued, I appreciate you, and I just wanted to let you know that or whatever. And it was like in that sense of trying to do kind things to lift the spirits of others, I kept hearing that there was a blood shortage. This was in January, and I think I heard about it on my podcast on the radio, and it finally like clicked like, hello, you have, I thought I had O negative. So why wouldn't I go donate blood? And I've never donated blood. So I thought like, ooh, this is another random way to do a kind thing. So I went and when I went to the Red Cross, they were like, invite your friends, like whoever, all of our appointments were canceled, like we desperately need people. And I was just thinking like, well, if cannabis doesn't impact eligibility, then why don't, I mean, stoners would make perfect donors from a demographic standpoint. We're a much more diverse group of people, which is super lacking right now. There's I mean, for the most part, people of color do not donate blood for cultural reasons or whatever, but it's needed. And so another way I saw it was like most cannabis consumers are compassionate. In my opinion, we've also been fighting for legitimacy for so long. And in 2020, we were deemed an essential industry economically. But I think that we're fucking essential to our communities as well. And we've always had to fight, especially really good cannabis companies had to fight to be even better than just a company. You want to do actively positive things in your community so that they don't hate you or try and kick you out, you know? So I was just thinking like weed rhymes with bleed. Coincidence? I think not. Bud for blood. I mean, yeah, so I'm like a pun person. So, anyways, I was trying to think like how, like, hey, what is this even called? What I'm thinking of, and the more I talked to people, I realized I was coming up with an awareness campaign, essentially. And the reason I went a campaign route instead of blood drives is when I went on the Red Cross website, they they totally like teach you everything you need to do a blood drive, but it was 12 weeks of planning. And I'm like, fuck that. There's a need now. Why don't I just like start telling people? And instead of like dealing with the events, just be like, yo, find a spot in your area and go donate. And so I just started like talking to more people, and I came up with the idea to do a free hemp t-shirt for the first 100 donors, because I have a t-shirt company, and why not like give someone something cool to like remember this by, and not just like any hemp t-shirt, but a really good quality one. So I have a friend who started a company and gave me like a super good deal. And so I basically am funding this entire campaign with the t-shirt sponsors, who will get their logo on the back of the t-shirt. And yeah, that's how it started. And it's been really amazing to have something to reach out to all these people. Like, I kind of quit networking after I've been in the cannabis industry 17 years. It's like I fucking know everyone already, but I didn't have a reason to talk to them really. And now, like, it's the best. It's like we all need blood and we all have blood. I mean, it like just makes sense. Plus, you get munchies at the end, like literally. And what else can you do to save up to 3 lives? I mean, times are fucking depressing. I think we all need a chance to feel like we're doing something. And a blood drive or donating blood is just so easy and so effective.
And it also helps your community exponentially. And
Totally.
you never know who's going to be the receiver. That's the reality. And of course, you never know when you may have to receive your blood. So
Yeah.
definitely knowing your blood type is helpful. But if you go and get your blood taken, they will tell you what your blood type is if you do not know. So I know that's one of the things that happens along the way there. So
Yeah.
Council Member Michael Green has a question for you.
I do. I'm sorry. I have an unstable connection, a huge thunderstorm in the background. Number one, Kristen, thank you so very much for what you're doing. That's admirable, honorable, necessary, important. I mean, the adjectives go on and on. Thank you. I guess what I'd like to know, basically, who should not give blood? I think is how we want.
So, disclaimer, I am not a medical professional and I didn't even know anything about this when I started, and I'm still learning every day. But there's the majority of, I mean, I think now I'm not sure because I've seen somewhere that said up to 60% of Americans are eligible to donate blood, but then I've seen that it's only 38% of Americans. Either way, reasons why you can't donate blood. If you have gotten a tattoo within 4 to 6 months, if you, and this is really dumb, in America still, if you are a gay man, you cannot donate blood, which is really stupid because we fucking need blood, and they can test now. They can screen for HIV, which is the reason why they don't. And I believe Canada actually changed their laws, but America, it's not surprising that it's still like that. So if you use drugs with needles, if you've had sex with a prostitute, if you are a prostitute, these are things that you cannot donate. There's also, if you've ever taken Accutane for acne, you cannot donate because it can give very bad birth defects to babies. And that's the thing, like, we don't know who the blood goes to. So a lot of people might not be eligible to donate blood, but they can still tell other people to, and they might be able to do plasma donations. But the difference between that, I can't really say without, I mean, I leave that to the medical experts, and I can give you guys resources on this. But there are some differences.
If you'd like to read some of those resources off for people, feel free to.
Yeah.
I know myself as I have Gulf War illness. I know that Al has suffered from malaria when he was in Vietnam. So there are certain illnesses that you have, unfortunately, for life and are unable to donate blood. So definitely check and make sure if you have some sort of health condition, make sure that is not on the list to save yourself the trouble and embarrassment,
Yeah.
as well as wasting the time and energy.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Brian Buckley.
Thank you. Hi, Kristen. Appreciate you taking the time to tell us about your program today.
Sure.
So, want to know, once you donate blood, where does it go to?
So blood, actually, I believe it's around a 40 to 50 day period of time that they can have blood products, and plasma is only good for up to 5 days, which is another reason why you've got people need to keep donating all the time, because this is a product that can expire. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, hold on. What was the question? I got lost.
It's
Yeah,
just
what
where
was-
would it go?
Oh, yeah, okay. So with the Red Cross, they'll actually, what's really dope is if you download the app first and you schedule your appointment through their app, they will track your entire blood journey, where like I got notified that my blood was on its way to Woodland Hills Hospital to help a patient, which I thought was like, that's fucking cool, man. Like, that's really cool. And also on the app, they keep track of how many units you give and how many lives you potentially saved. And not only that, I figured out that I had COVID. I didn't even know that I had COVID, but they do a free antibody screening on everyone's blood. And also for Black people, they do sickle cell trait screening as well. So I don't know if all blood banks offer the same things, but I also want to make it clear that just like you could shop at a small business versus a Walmart, it's still best to go to your community blood banks, because the Red Cross is some of the most expensive blood products out there, because they're funding all of the rest of what they do when they have to go into like floods, etc. So if possible, your local blood bank and your local hospitals are the first place to check, and then the Red Cross, because I mean, the Red Cross offers, I mean, they just sent me stickers. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I like stickers. That's like a really good way to get me to go back, as is their app. But if you can help your local community, that's the best way. And where the blood goes, wherever you donate, hopefully in your community. And I think for veterans, if you donate at the Veterans Hospital, it goes to veterans. I mean, like, what better way to pay back, your family than that, right?
Absolutely. And it's definitely one of those things. Next up is Al Byrne.
Well, Kristen, I'm with the rest of the guys. Thank you so much for coming by and talking to us. And already learned a lot. I'm supposed to ask a question that you already answered, actually, which was, what's the cannabis community got to do with giving blood? If I'm a cannabis user, I've been using cannabis daily for 40 years. So I can't give blood because I had malaria. But if I were able to, after being a cannabis user daily for 40 years, would there be a problem with my blood donated to another human being?
Nope. No. And that's the thing that it just like clicked like a friend with weed is a friend indeed, right? Like when you show up with weed, you make friends with everyone because it's just like a unifying plant. And I thought, like, if cannabis users understood the need, they'd fucking show up. It's not asking a lot. I mean, we already go through so much and we already have a strong community. So I thought, really, all we have to do is let people know. And so far, it's exactly what I'm seeing is people are like, oh shit, I didn't even know. I'm going to go donate, you know? And I know there's a different question about if you can't donate blood, can you donate plasma? There are differences where you can. And donating anything, it's important, you know, to help people. But yeah, I think why not cannabis consumers? They're like the perfect people to donate. And I'm just joking when I say this, but like not really, but I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But I would love to get some weed blood transfused personally, especially if I'm in the hospital. Like, wouldn't that be a nice, like, relaxing surprise? But I'm just kidding. I don't think that actually like passes through. Um,
That no, it would have to be some extremely high concentrated blood to have survived that. And
Yeah.
if you're there, then the Alexei hydroxy metabolite that it turns into when it goes through your liver is going to be one hell of a ride.
Yes.
All right. Up next is Council Member Tony Landry.
Hi, Christian. Thank you for being here. I think it's a very important topic. I actually have two friends in the cannabis community here in Louisiana that have to do weekly infusions, blood
Oh,
infusions. So it's a topic dear to my heart. And my question is there a financial relationship due to this or due to this drive? Is there a financial relationship for the
so
benefit?
I neglected a cynical stoner completely because I'm not a capitalist and I'm just so desperate to feel good about things that I've focused Bud for Blood completely. And so I created the t-shirt sponsors, which all I was looking to raise was $10,000. That pays a marketing team that I hired for 3,500. That pays for 100 t-shirts plus shipping and handling. So I was guessing around 30 per t-shirt, so 3,000, and then 3,000 so I can like eat and pay my rent for the past few months that I've been focused on this campaign. And that's it. Otherwise, I've just had any companies that want to be a part of this. Like, I know the cannabis industry is fucking brutal, especially if you've got 280E. And so I created like essentially either if a company has $100 they could throw in, sweet, but if not, then I don't care. Like, I'd rather have more organizations on board sponsoring and supporting by sharing this information than like financially putting anything into it. So far I've gotten 6 t-shirt sponsors. Like, I just need 3 more. And then like I don't want to solicit money. Like, that's the part I fucking hate the most about all of this is like, it's so refreshing to be able to talk to people about a cause that is not financial. And like, I hate soliciting people, but that's the only money I was looking to raise was just to cover the expenses. And then that's it. Because I don't want to create a nonprofit because I can barely take care of my own entity at this point, you know? But I'm keeping like everything separate and am totally willing to be transparent with anyone because I've got nothing to hide. But that's it. Like, so anyone who's on here that wants to be a part of it, you can be a part of it for free and I can send you content for you to share. But like, that's the payoff for me the most is if I could actually get 100 donations from people across the country. Like, that's so fucking cool, you know? Like, that's the payoff I'm in it for in the long run.
Yep. Knowing that you're helping out others is, as you stated, when you go give blood as it is, you come away feeling good because you just don't know who you're just helped.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up is Council Member Pearson Kennedy Crosby. How's it going in Alaska, sir?
Oh, I'm in Massachusetts, actually.
Oh, globetrotting.
Yes, I gotta, I'm here. I don't like to leave my country except for anything but you know, warm sandy beaches and fruity drinks with umbrellas in them. But I'm
I
here.
used to live in Alaska. Where do you live?
Fairbanks, actually. How about yourself?
I lived in Palmer for like a year and a half, and I lived in
Wait,
Anchorage for a year.
where was the
Palmer,
first place? Oh,
uh,
Palmer, yeah.
yeah, Matanuska Valley, and then I lived
Yeah,
in a village by Nome called Elam.
yeah, yeah.
I moved
I'm
there
familiar.
from Arizona at 16 to a fucking village. Like
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
that
that
was
was
quite
wild.
a change.
I'm
That made
sure that was
moving to
wild.
Hollywood very easy, very easy.
Oh, we're extremely uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, I liked Alaska. It was great.
I love it. It's my. I wouldn't live there if I didn't think it was the greatest place on earth.
Totally. I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm here in Massachusetts. I'm in Boston Bay right now. I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm here helping out with a few things. But so I when I was in the Marine Corps, I used to give plasma, short on cash, short on time, and I was doing a good thing, I felt. But now that COVID has hit, is there any stipulations between like people that are, have been positive or have the natural immunities, vaccinations. Is there anything that's holding us back at all with giving blood on in that front?
No, they don't care if you're vaccinated or not. And as a matter of fact, one of the pluses of them at the Red Cross, which I don't know if all blood banks do this, but testing for antibodies on each sample is so that they can pull the highest amount of antibody blood and use that as the monoclonal antibody treatments or to help
Okay.
other COVID patients. So even better if you just got over COVID and like you don't have a flu, you're not testing positive, your blood could help someone very sick with COVID.
Wow, that is a great point.
I mean, look,
That's an
like
awesome
after,
point.
yeah, dude, after this pandemic, I feel like we fucking failed each other like so bad, dude. Like it was very depressing to see how we did not help each other. And I just feel like nowadays, bro, like all we have is each other, our communities, and like our participation in our communities. That's it. Like no one's gonna fucking save us. No one fucking cares. Like we are like here for each other. That's all we got. And so this is the best way. Like again, 1 in 4 people will need a transfusion in their lifetime. A car accident, like birth, like all kinds of shit. You don't know. And the fact that blood has a time limit before they need more, plasma even more. I mean, it's just such a simple, kind thing to do, like, yeah, I really hope people do it because also you feel like a fucking badass afterwards. Like I ate one of every snack available to me because I was like, bitch, I just saved 3 lives. Like I'll take
We're
the
just eating
juice
cookies all day
and
long,
a
right?
soda, crackers, and the cookies and the fruit snacks. Thank you very much. Yeah, like
because I
this.
deserve it.
Exactly, dude. Like, and not only that, most of these blood banks are so fucking desperate that they're giving out prizes and shit. They will like the Dodgers were giving out free tickets to people. Every place is different, but some of them even have like when you donate, you get something each time. Like, so they're really trying to incentivize people. And I never
Right.
thought that like the hemp t-shirt would be the reason why people donated because
Everybody likes a free t-shirt.
I mean, but you're like sticking a fucking needle in your arm and sucking your blood out. Like it's not an easy thing in general. It's a little invasive. So the main reason people donate is because they want to help people. And I think cannabis people inherently want to help each other. Like that's how we got this fucking far, right? Like each other. So
That's yeah, exactly. That's why we're speaking to each other right now, because of the
Exactly.
great things that you're doing, and I'm very glad to hear, because I think most people, if not all, will have COVID in our lifetime, and that shouldn't stop them from providing their
I didn't even
liquid in
know.
order to help.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah, oh
didn't
yeah,
even
said
know
that.
I
Yeah.
had it. Like, I have been fucking terrified. I just went to my first party where there were no masks for the first time since the pandemic started. That's how sketch I've been. And I still got it, bro. And I didn't even know.
Well,
So that's
yeah.
another thing that's kind of cool is you might actually have already had COVID and you didn't know it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice because then I'm like, oh shit, well, at least I didn't get too fucked up from it.
Well, yeah, you have natural immunity now or something. But yeah, flying. I think I had one person sitting next to me with a mask when I came in from Alaska. It was a 16-hour excursion, but yeah, we're getting back into normalcy, and I'm so glad to hear that the majority of people that have had COVID shouldn't restrict themselves to giving blood.
Yeah, definitely.
If they had it. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you're doing, and thank you for
My
taking my
pleasure.
question.
Sure.
Councilmember Green, you had a follow-up?
Oh, you're on mute still.
You have to unmute. You have to unmute, Mr. Green. You muted.
There you go.
If
I'm
he
back
doesn't
on my
vote
phone
that,
now. Am I good?
Yep, you're good. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
This is frustrating.
we can hear you.
Can you
Go
guys
ahead.
hear me?
Yes.
I claim I'm unmuted.
Go ahead.
You're good. Mm,
Eh,
the pain. I feel it.
it happens.
Hey, Kirsten, this is Al Kirsten. Well, Mike, I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. While Mike fiddles out with what he's doing, let's ask the basic question. I've never given blood. I'm a guy or a girl that's never given blood in my life. Does it hurt? And how long does it take?
Okay, so I just gave blood for my first time and I knew that I was an O. I thought it was negative, it was positive. But like this is super fucking important. I think people should know. O positive blood is the most common blood type in America. And O positive, O negative, any O blood can do a power red donation, which is when you give double the blood cells and then they put your plasma and your white cells back into your body with some saline. And so if you do a full blood donation, that's just like when they do a pint, it's the normal one, like it's a little pinch. And then you just like it's not that bad at all. And then they take it out. It's like 15 minutes. To do a power red, they use a machine called an apheresis machine. And that's how they separate your blood from everything else. And in that sense, it takes like 45 minutes. And I'm not gonna joke, like it's not fun, dude. Like I did not want to see the fucking blood like in the tube, in the thingy, in the other thing. Like that shit's gross. And I've pierced things like, yeah. And my arm was a little sore the next day, but it was fucking worth it, because like a double power donation or whatever, that helps even more.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Michael, go ahead.
Am I still muted?
No, you can hear you. Go ahead. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? No. Then I'm going to mute you.
Oh,
Kirsten, he's a lawyer. That should say everything. This guy, Michael, he's a lawyer. So
Retired
you
lawyer.
don't know.
Tony Landry, you got a
Can you hear me?
follow-up.
oops. Damn.
Wait, Michael, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, so go ahead with your
Okay.
question. Quickly.
Okay, two things. Number one, I don't know if you're a veteran or not, but you curse like a fucking sailor, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much for the F word.
You're
Okay, kick some ass.
All right.
Secondly, and I may have missed this because my phone keeps cutting out in the computer. Like I said, a storm. If you cannot give blood, can you still give plasma, or did someone ask that and I missed it?
It really depends. It's best to just ask the people because it depends on why you can't give blood. And I don't know what.
Okay, for instance, I'm a cancer patient.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends.
Yeah,
Because
hey,
when I was born, apparently, like I had crazy amount of white blood cells, and they thought I had leukemia. And by at 4 months, they were gonna do a spinal tap on me. But they did a blood test one last time, and my blood came back totally normal. And my mom claims that like the church healed me or whatever. But I told the hospital, the children's hospital in LA, on my 80 question survey that I think I might have had leukemia. And they were like, you can't donate, like, because that's a blood cancer. Like you had a blood, like that's a blood cancer. That's like the one thing like you really can't donate. But then I told my mom, she's like, well, you never were diagnosed with it and you were fine your entire life. So I didn't tell the Red Cross because I don't think I ever actually had it. So it really depends. And I would leave that up to the medical professionals to tell you, because I don't know. There's so much to it that I don't understand, to be honest.
Okay, Tony Landry.
excellent. Thank you, Kristen.
I had a question for just to Kristen, the procedure. Do you just go to like the VA or your local healthcare that would be able to take the blood donation, and then you mentioned I'm donating for blood. Is that the procedure?
Oh, yeah. So I'm asking people to go donate blood and take a picture, a donor selfie. That way, that's like the easiest way I can verify that you donated. And then I'll send you a free Team Bud for Blood hemp t-shirt. So I hope to fucking God I can just get these last 3 sponsors so I can get the t-shirts ordered. Like that's my goal, but I'm keeping everyone updated who submits a donor application on the timeline and everything, but that's all. Just take a donor selfie, send it to me, fill out the application, and then I'll send you a free t-shirt.
Thank you, Kristen.
Council Member Pearson Kennedy Crespi.
So I don't know if this was addressed or already, but before, so if you go and you're willing to give your blood, from what I understand, the Red Cross or anybody that's taking your blood will test the blood prior to it going into any patient, and from what I understand, the Red Cross will notify you if there are things within your blood that they've found that are that could potentially harm you or anyone that you're donating to. Is that still the case?
I know that they do screening for a lot of things. I don't know if they tell you that something's wrong, unless it's the only ones that I know that they will tell you is the antibody test, sickle cell traits, and
AIDS and other bloodborne viruses, I believe.
yeah, I mean, I know that they screen for it, but I'm not sure if they're the ones who tell you. I don't know. But
my point of this is that if you're willing to donate, they're not just gonna, if you have, for lack of better words, bad blood, they're not just gonna take your blood and put it into somebody that needs it, correct?
Correct. I mean, they do a very long questionnaire. Not to mention, you have to have high enough iron in your blood. To donate plasma, you need to have a high enough protein diet. You have to be a certain height and weight in the first place. Like my mom donated blood. She was not big enough for that, and it knocked her the fuck out for like 12 hours. So, you know, you also have to be like in good health to donate, especially if you keep donating. But one cool thing I read is that donating blood regularly could help reduce the amount of forever chemicals in your blood, because you're literally getting new blood.
Rejuvenating yourself. Yeah,
Exactly.
you're rejuvenating it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I never even thought of that. That's
I
great.
didn't either. So yeah.
Right on.
Michael Green.
Good. I think I'm back on. Yes.
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 Number one, to follow up on that, I've given blood. Well, for the last 50 years, I've been giving blood, and I was found to be anemic in a pre-screening test. So, which was a good thing. And
Yeah.
I was how much protein as I eat. They discovered the iron deficiency. So I've always found they've been very, very thorough at the pre-test. You know, you answer the questions, you fill out the form, and they test you right on the spot and know within moments whether or not there's some other kind of problem like an iron deficiency, et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very thorough.
Yeah,
And
they
thank God. Right? Like for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, great work, Kristen. I'm really impressed with what I'm hearing.
Thank you.
Next up is Council Member Aaron Pluff.
Hi, Kristen. Thanks for chatting with us.
Sure.
I think you might be happy to know when you mentioned like people letting each other down, that me and Pearson were in the same unit together. We served it together. So
Oh, wow. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, we're here for each other, and he brought me into this group. So
Oh, nice.
I just wanted to share that with you because there is
Nice.
some good stuff. Still people looking out for each other out here. So
Totally.
so I think you've covered a lot of stuff, and I appreciate it, and it's awesome. And like, if you wanted to help you, because I got a lot of weird stuff that we've done and been through, and I don't know if I could donate, but in the event that I couldn't, how could we help you get it like regional or local? Like,
I mean, the first step is just educating your network about the need. Because, like, for as many people there are that are not eligible, there are those eligible people, and we have to reach as many people as possible to catch the eligible people. And the reason why I did this campaign where I'm asking all the sponsors to post at least every 2 weeks is to keep hitting people until they act. Like, it took me like 6 times of hearing it before it clicked, like, oh shit, I should go donate. So I'm hoping if everyone shares this stuff, like, we'll keep hitting people and it will drive some action. Another thing is if you've got a location to do a blood drive, we need blood drives everywhere. You can reach out to your local hospital, local Red Cross, any blood banks, and see if you can host a blood drive at your location. If you know dispensary owners, that's like the perfect place, because then you get the cannabis consumers on the way out. Like that's all I want anyone to do, is just like get other people to donate if you can't donate. Everyone sharing is doing their part, in my opinion, because we can't all donate.
And of course, the T-shirts are going to the first 100, and after that, you're just helping out and doing the good work, which is still needed and appreciated. So,
I mean, I'm really hoping we hit. 100 was a cynical guess because I didn't know if it would happen, but I think it will, dude, because I feel like people are starting to feel it, and let us not forget, like, donate blood in case there's a mass shooting in your fucking neighborhood, because guess who needs blood? Gunshot victims. So I think it just really drives home the fact that it's just needed all the time, everyone, all the time, everywhere.
one of our council members, George Armstrong, told us he was in a car accident and required 5 pints of blood just the other day. He wasn't in the accident just the other day, but he made us aware of, out of nowhere, not only did he need a pint of blood, he needed 5 pints of blood just to stay alive, to survive the operations and the damage that had occurred. So you never know how much a person needs as well. So, if you can go back and do so, do so.
Yeah.
Council member Al Burns.
Yeah, I'm back again, Kirsten. You're special. Listen, I got to ask, because this is what we do with veterans. Do you have a connection with veterans, military at all?
Well, I actually got married to a friend in the army when I was 20 for health insurance. It was his idea because he wanted to get out of the barracks and he would have gotten a raise and he was going to Afghanistan. So I was like, I mean, he made me power of attorney. I took care of his finances and all his shit while he was in Afghanistan. And when he came back, he got kicked out for doing coke and I divorced him. And so I guess like I was partially in the army for a little bit. God bless the fucking hospitals, dude, like for real. And other than that, I think my grandpa served, but not my parents, and not any of my other family members. But I have like so much respect for you guys, and I really wish that the federal government took care of veterans better. You know, but I guess that's why we have to take care of each other, you know?
Yeah, well, we all think that we need to have our brothers and sisters treated a lot better by our government than we've been treated. We agree. I think that's all the questions I have, ETN, if somebody wants to pick up on me.
Right on. Thank you for that, Kristen, as well. And if, as far as you're concerned, if you were married to somebody in the service, we consider that you served because you and those, especially if you took care of somebody's stuff while you were away, yeah, you definitely served alongside of this as far as we're concerned. So
interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I gotta tell you, dude, like there was a lot of times on the news, like I would wake up and just think like, oh my God, was that where he is? Just Jesus, that was just a really fucked up situation. But yeah, man, whatever I can do to help, you know?
well, you're doing it, and that's why we're here and trying to support you and what you're trying to accomplish because it's a selfless act what you're trying to achieve, and that's something that we can get behind because it's going to help many people.
Yeah, totally.
Council members Al Byrne, and then I think Nate Landau had something he wanted to add to the conversation. So Al, then Nate.
Give me a second, Nate, but I'm back again. You've referred a few times in this conversation to you need some funding to create your mission. How much you need? And how do we give it to you? How does a guy like me get you a check for $50? How do we do that?
So I'm looking for 3 t-shirt sponsors and I'm asking for $1,000 each, and I'll put your logo on the back of the t-shirt that will be sent to everybody. My goal was to put cannabis brands on there because they serve consumers, and consumers is the demographic I'm trying to reach. And like, who wants to wear insurance company logos on their t-shirt? But unfortunately, like my connections are all mostly B2B. I don't know that many brand people. So if you have like any connections to brands that are on a medical cannabis vibe that might be interested in this, like I wanted the t-shirt sponsors to like get the good vibes from this as well. So there are also companies that I don't like that I wouldn't put on a t-shirt even if they gave me money. So that's also why I'm like kind of stuck, because I'm like, ew, I don't want their logo on the t-shirt, you know, but only because they're bad, not because I'm like a judging person. But you know, cannabis has got some shitty people in it. So, but yeah, oh my God.
How do I give you money? How do these guys find you to give you a grant? They're all over the place. They just need to know how to give you money.
Go to budforblood.com and there's a contact form. You can reach out to me there or on Instagram at budforblood or on my website, Cynical Stoner. My website, my email is contact@cynicalstoner.com. All of those lead to me.
Right on. Council
There you go,
member.
Nate. You're on, Nate.
You're on, Nate.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Go
driving
ahead.
in a car. I've been donating until I had to stop for personal reasons. I donated for years. I even donated platelets. It's the longest process. It takes about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's really important, and it just takes this orange thing out. And I'm all really. I started donating when I was 18, the legal age in Israel where I live, and it's really a good thing. I just want to thank you so much for this. I will try to donate. I don't know if they're going to accept my condition, but it's up to the medical professionals. But I just wanted to chime in and thank you for doing this. This is really God sent work.
Yeah, well, thank you for donating so much. I can't believe like I just started, but I'm so thankful for the people who do this. And that's another thing. If you're doing a whole blood donation, you can donate up to 4 to 6 times a year, I think. If you do a power red donation, you can only donate 2 to 3 times a year, I believe, because it takes longer to regenerate your cells. But it's not a one-time thing. Like I've already got my July appointment scheduled because I want more cookies and stuff too, you know? And I want to see my number go up on the app. Like that shit's addictive. Let me tell you, like it really is.
Council member George Armstrong has joined us, and George, I was just speaking to and toward you because out of left field, you were a blood recipient. If you would like to, would you like to speak toward that and how you went from not needing blood to really needing it?
Yeah, so first of all, as a medic, I work special duty in the blood bank, I believe 2 times for like 90 days each.
Wow.
So I worked in the blood bank when I was in the service in the military hospitals. I gave blood when I was in the service. That was the one thing you always volunteered for in the military was giving blood because you got the afternoon off and the free cookies. So I used to take advantage of that a couple times a year if they needed blood. But then when I got out of the military, I was in a very serious car accident, and because I was on the operating table for so long and they were debating on whether to take my leg, I used five units of blood were transfused to keep me alive during that surgery. Since then, I can't donate blood, but I obviously encourage everybody to do it. It's just super important. The amount of blood that is needed every day in America is it really is incredible. So, I mean, I really appreciate what you're doing, especially, and I think it's something really important. I can't wait to figure out how I can push it in my area, and
Awesome.
let's make everybody give blood.
Right? You know, a friend with weed is a friend indeed, but a friend that bleeds is a fucking hero. And we need more heroes, you know? And I think it's super important to hear from recipients of transfusions because there's a lot of people out there. This is one other thing that I've learned that I did not know about that I'm really like trying to put something together is that, like I had said earlier, most people of color don't donate blood for historical reasons and cultural reasons. However, and I didn't know this, but Black people have an extra protein in their blood that makes it essential for sickle cell anemia patients to get transfused with blood from other Black people. But it is lacking, like is fucking hugely lacking. However, the cannabis industry, at least 50% of the demographics are biracial, Black or Hispanic, Latino. And white people, it's like only 18%. And to me, like, dude, we have the fucking perfect demographic of donors because based on statistics, they're more educated. When you look at blood donor statistics, education is usually a part of blood donors. They're younger, they're more health conscious. Like it just makes so much sense. And so as a white person, I've learned that the best allies don't speak for people, you support them. So I've been reaching out to sickle cell organizations and any of the POC cannabis media companies so that they can create a campaign that can speak to their people because they can save, like we can fucking save each other. I don't know why we don't. Like, I don't know why I never really heard about blood drives until now. But now that I know, it's like, we can do something. Like, we should all do something. So as long as we're just telling people and like driving the point home, that's like the best you can do, really, besides donating, is just getting other people to donate.
Right on. Well, thank you for sharing your stories.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And thank you, council members, for sharing your stories as well.
Yeah, thanks.
Does anybody have any further questions for Kristen on the Bud for Blood campaign?
I
I
just
don't
want to
think
add one thing.
Go
Sorry,
ahead, Nate. Then
Go ahead.
George.
that I think in California they're now allowing people in the LGBT community to donate blood.
Really? Oh, wow. I'm going to look that up. That would be incredible.
I would really love that, but then I can donate blood again.
Yeah. I'm going to look that up when I get off. Thanks for letting me know.
All right.
George.
Just real quick, I wanted to say I love your energy as an activist. Don't lose that. Grab on and hold on to that energy that you feel right now, that you can make a difference, and hold on to it with white knuckles. I love it, and it's what we need more of that.
Thank you. I'm trying, dude. I am.
Well, you're not just trying, you're accomplishing it. And not only you're accomplishing it, you're making others aware. And we're proud to support your campaign. Again, the campaign is going to July 10th. That's 7/10/2022. So, you know, where you have availability, get you and your friends. You can all go down together. You know, they will accept groups of people. Make your appointment ahead of time, and you can all go in together and all go celebrate together. So, and all go feel good together. So, you know, take the advantage of the opportunity to help others and make yourself feel better. And as Kristen said, if you're able to use again, this is a no affiliation with the Red Cross, but if you donate an area with the Red Cross, Kristen has made us aware that there is an app that can track your information as well as keep score of how many pints that you're giving as well.
And if you download the app, they have a team function, and I created Bud for Blood team. So everyone's donations count under that team. So join the team if you go through the Red Cross, but you don't have to.
Well,
One more time. You're cynical stoner at where? I love that. Cynical stoner.
Cynicalstoner.com and budforblood.com, or Cynical Stoner or Bud for Blood on Instagram.
And look for us on social media. We'll be putting out memes and socials over the coming weeks and the coming months so that we can get your butt in a seat and get your blood drawn where possible so that we can get back to saving lives and don't have to stop after this campaign. It feels good to give and to help, so you can continue to do so and help out people that you'll never meet in this world. And sometimes that's one of the most amazing feelings that you can have.
Totally. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank Kristen Yoder for the creation of this Bud for Blood campaign. The Veterans Action Council is proud to support it. I would like to thank our council members, Brian Buckley, Tony Landry, Aaron Pluff, Al Byrne, Nate Landau, Pearson Kennedy Crosby, Michael Green, and George Armstrong for joining us tonight. And I cannot thank you enough for the creation of this, as well as what you're doing to help give stoners a better representation in their communities, because we've had so many negative connotations due to you know, the yellow journalism that has been so prevalent over the decades. It's nice to see cannabis people unifying and uniting behind messages that will help others and takes away some of a little bit of the sting of the stigma that it exists under. So thank you very much. This will wrap up our Veterans Action Council Roundtable number 37, the Bud for Blood campaign. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I want to wish everyone a Memorial Day weekend. It is one that we are one to remember those that have come and are no longer with us. And let's remember and honor them in our own ways. And much love to you all. And I wish you all the best. Peace, everybody.